Alright, I'm back with a new Destiny video. I did save making a video today until after reset because I thought something might happen, ranging from minor to major. This is, I would say, about in the middle, maybe. Technically, we have reached the end of the Splicer questline for Season of the Splicer. It's not unusual for seasons to kind of end midway through, and yet in this case, I am not remotely buying it. This is the end of the season or storytelling in this season. First, what happened? We did another corrupted run of an expunge mission, and then, as Mithrax said last week, we have located Quria, I think that's how you pronounce it, her lair somewhere, and then we unlocked access to a seventh expunge mission, Expunge Delphi, which I was excited to check it out, and then it was kind of lame that it was just different parts of the first three clipped together. It's like one section of each of the old three. I assume that was just kind of to pad it out so it's not just a boss fight. The boss fight is mechanically more interesting than it could have been otherwise. It's not just like fire two anarchy shots and use Chaos Reach to kill Quria like people were worried about. And yet, it is still somewhat underwhelming, as you'll see from the clip here that I'm posting of the actual fight. I mean, she looks cool. Like, there's a Taken shield and a Vex shield, which is kind of cool. It's a neat sort of mechanic for a Taken Dreaming Mind. There are two segments where she'll go immune, and you have to kind of platform around holding one of those data orbs, kind of around the outer edges of the arena, and then dunk them, and then kill a Minotaur, and then she becomes unimmune, and you do that twice, once with a regular Minotaur, once with a Taken one, and then you can get her all the way down. The mission's like 1310 power. It is not terribly difficult. It's not even a darkness zone, like none of these have been, so you could solo it pretty easily, like at almost any level, so you're not really going to run into a whole lot of trouble in a mission that you effectively cannot die in. I agree that it is kind of lame to see Quria go out like this. Quria has been like a kind of mysterious part of the lore for so long now that to have her finally show up and it's like a soloable boss fight, even if it does have somewhat interesting mechanics, it's still like a one-man activity essentially, and it's further evidence of our Guardian being kind of ridiculously OP. So instead of, two Anarchy shots and a Chaos Reach, it's like 6 Anarchy shots and 3 Chaos Reaches or something like that in the end. And it's a little anticlimactic. However, I think all of this is anticlimactic on purpose. I think the season is trying to fake us out that it is over. No, I don't think this is just wishful thinking on my part and like making excuses for Bungie having a lame finale to the season. There's a lot going on still in this season that is not resolved. And I'm not diving into anything that's been data mined. I am just talking about the general clues that we've been given or things that have happened that show us that there are still things to come. The tower is still deeply messed up, as is the last city. The Endless Night has not gone away, even though we killed the Dreaming Mind supposedly at the center of it. They kind of have like explanations like, oh, it's going to take a while to untangle the tower from the Vex network and blah, blah, blah. But like, even Mithrax is like, yeah, I thought it would go away. So this is kind of weird. So that's not resolved yet. Lakshmi's not like foaming at the mouth anymore, but she is definitely still all about her agenda of kicking the Elixni back out into space and also overthrowing the Vanguard. She kind of says as much to us, and then in the lore page this week, she talks to Osiris about like, hey, what'd you think about all that? And he's like, I don't know, I don't make predictions anymore. He doesn't say anything too shady in this part, but Lakshmi ends the conversation by saying that like she thinks this is just the lightning flash before the storm. Osiris isn't completely shady free this week. He makes a comment right at the beginning of the final expunge where he's like, oh, I didn't think you'd get this far in a Vex network. I underestimated you. I won't make that mistake again. It's like, okay, bro, that's a little on the nose. But otherwise, nothing like overtly crazy. Oh, Ikora gives him all the materials to like study Savathûn and what Savathûn's motivations are, which, if the theory pans out that he's Savathûn, is kind of ridiculous, but nothing was revealed like this week at all. It was just more kind of clues in this direction. We are missing the final lore page of this season, I think you can go read it on Ishtar or whatever. But and that's what you need to get the seal to. So we can't get the seal yet. So something else is still going to happen. And then again, this is not for data mine, but the press release, like the press kit for this, has a bunch of combat pictures, and one of them is definitely the Vex inside the Elixni Quarter in the old Scourge of the Past boss area. And I said from the beginning that that is a ridiculously large arena to just have like 10% of it taken up by the Elixni, so I fully believe that some sort of Vex attack is happening there. Lakshmi has prophesied this Vex attack happening there, or a attack happening there. I don't know whether she causes it, if she's being manipulated by Savathun to let the Vex directly into the last city for the first time. Some variant of that seems like something that's going to happen. And then there's some other lingering stuff. Like, do you remember when we first got into the season, there were those like oracles that were showing up in some of the Tangled Shore lost sectors, and you shot them and a Minotaur appeared, and you killed a Minotaur and nothing happened. The first theory was that was going to be tied to like the Vex Mythoclast or the Mythoclast Catalyst or something. That has come and gone. It has nothing to do with it. So whatever that is has to have something happening in the future here. Whether it's some sort of puzzle quest, or I don't know why that would be tied to story, but my guess is some sort of puzzle thing that's still coming later. So I don't think that was the finale at all, which kind of is even sadder for Quria, that she couldn't even be like the big finale boss. And yet I am also glad that I am like 99.9% sure the season is not over, because I thought that would have been a kind of basic, boring way to end it. And I think some crazier stuff is going to happen. I don't know what the extent of that will be. I previously had an article talking about, like, what if Lakshmi wins? What if she actually overthrows the Vanguard? I don't know if I'm actually believing that's going to happen or not, but I think there's a lot of potential for stuff still to happen, whether it's Lakshmi or the Vex or Osiris, and I don't know. There's at least, like, close to 2 months, I think, left in this season, or 1.5 months at the very least. Next week is the beginning of Solstice and Vault of Glass hard mode going live. I don't think the story is going to just pick up immediately again. I think we're probably going to have to wait a couple more weeks into the future to kind of return to this, the actual storyline of the season, and it's going to be like a surprise on like a Tuesday or a Friday or something where there will be something new to do. And that will be the finale and lead into whatever the next season is, which we don't know yet. And has not been teased or anything because it's still too early. But so that's kind of my impressions of what went down today and why I do not buy that this season is over, despite a big boss battle at the end, which was okay, but a little bit of a letdown for Quria and her kind of long history with us trying to figure out her deal. I am hoping for a more eventful, meaningful, impactful, like fundamentally changing the nature of things type of finale here, given all the pieces that have been set up, but I guess we'll find out. Obviously I'm going to be logging in at Reset every week, but I would not really expect this to pick back up again for a while, and I guess we'll see when that happens, but that's all I got for now. Evie, did you make a cameo yet? She was here the whole time, and you didn't know. Fun fact, I was going to name Evie Savathun, and my wife did not like that, so. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.